Hey, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Newbes podcast. I am your host, Matthew Blair, and I'm a youth and transition worker here at New Beginnings. I'd like to take a quick second to thank New Beginnings as an organization for giving us this platform and giving us an opportunity to represent it well, and hopefully we'll make our colleagues proud. Speaking of colleagues, I'm going to hand it over to this lovely human over here. Take it away, my friend.
Hi, guys. My name is Samrah. I am a youth employment caseworker at New Beginnings. My role includes equipping the youth in the community with skills and knowledge regarding employment and just overall life stabilization. Speaking of youth, the reason why Youth Matters is so important to us is because we do truly advocate for youth here. So we just want to start this off by opening up the opportunity for any youth who might want to direct, produce, or even sit here with Matt and I and have a little chat. So feel free to contact us if you would like to be a part of that.
Speaking of directing and editing, I would love a chance to introduce the third member of our team, Zeina Abou Haidar. We are very blessed to have Zeina to be a part of our team, and we are looking forward to taking this journey together, the three of us. Zeina, why don't you say we get this show on the road, eh?
Oh, well, absolutely, you guys. Now that you have introduced yourself a little bit to us, our audience, I'm pretty sure that our audience wants to know a little bit more about you.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure on our side, we know about you a lot because you guys do be the talkative people of the office.
We are the office yappers.
We are the office yappers.
Olympic level, I heard.
It's true.
So yeah, if you guys are ready, I'm ready to throw some questions at you.
Yeah, throw them at us.
Let's get
Let's
into
see
it.
what you got.
Let's see.
As you guys may know, we start our week with a Happy Monday quote. So, starting our podcast, I want you guys, if you have any quote that you like, could you tell us what's the quote and why you like it?
Definitely.
I have a quote.
We know she has a quote.
It's my favorite quote ever. It's do your best until you know better. And once you know better, do better by Maya Angelou. I love that one because it's so applicable to any age, any place, any time. So it's such a universal feeling of not knowing and the fear of the unknown. But having that little pep talk with yourself before just 3 little sentences can make a huge difference because as long as you show up and you do your best, that'll take you so far.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that one in your office. I've seen you say that to clients. You've told that to me before.
Yeah.
So,
I live by it.
yeah, honestly.
I truly do.
We should get you a shirt.
Well, I would love a shirt, a hat, a whole fit.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole Maya Angelou fit.
Maya Angelou fit check. There we go. What about you?
My quote kind of comes from an unlikely source. It actually comes from a song from an artist, Mac Miller. And the little blurb of the song goes, "No matter where life takes me, find me with a smile." And you know what? The field that we work in, it's not always all sunshines and rainbows, and sometimes it can get a little dark. And I kind of take it upon myself to try to be that light for the clients, for coworkers sometimes. So if I got to light up the room a little bit with a toothy grin, then you know what? That's what I'm going to do. My parents paid a lot for these teeth, so they said they want to get their money's worth, and I think I've been doing that for them since I was a kid. So.
You're making them proud. You're doing what you got to do.
So my second question for you guys, it is, what are you the most proud of in your life?
Well, you started off the last one, so I don't mind taking it from the top here.
Take it away.
You know what? And I'm going to toot my own horn here for a sec, but this is an episode about us.
Exactly.
So I think this, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it now. But I think just the fact that I've kind of gotten my life on the right track kind of at a younger age. Like I found the love of my life. I have a beautiful baby girl at home. We got a house together, and in this market that seems kind of
Impossible.
a little bit crazy, but we kind of did it at the right time, and everything's just kind of worked out. And then on top of that, I am a new employee here at New Beginnings, and it's been a fantastic experience so far. So I think that's just what I'm most proud of right now anyways.
You should be proud of that. That's a lot that you've accomplished.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
She has to say one nice thing about me. We're going to do it right now.
Only one, and it's very rare, and it won't happen again. No, I'm kidding. I think a moment in time. I think for me, something I'm proud about is just being self-sufficient. I think I had a lot of unique obstacles growing up, and there were times when I couldn't even go to work every day on a consistent basis because my mental health was just. So to have stability and to have a happy, peaceful place for myself, healing through certain things, healing certain parts of myself that, weren't sitting right with the kind of lifestyle that I wanted, that I knew I had the power to have. I feel like I'm in a good place right now, thankfully. So I'm proud of everything I've done to kind of establish myself in my field that I've been wanting to do since I was in high school. If you went to high school with me, I've always wanted to do mental health. So being able to actually be hands-on with it is something I'm really, really proud of. Thank you. There's your one nice thing.
Yeah. Well, there might be more to come. We'll see.
You're pretty nice. We're going to take a little break here from our regular program scheduling, and we're going to introduce a new segment that Matt and I have come up with called Deja Brew. So grab your coffee if you're still here, and if you want to give a little cheers to Newbes, feel free to cheers to Newbes with us with our coffee. Cheers to Newbes.
Cheers.
And Deja Brew is basically the question of, if you could have coffee with one person, dead or alive, who would you want to have coffee with? We want you guys to comment. We want you guys to call in for the next segment to Deja Brew.
Yeah.
But Matt and I will kick it off for a little second over here.
Yeah.
So if I could have coffee with one person, dead or alive, I think I would probably go with Freddie Mercury, lead singer of Queen.
Yeah. Why is that?
So I don't know if anyone knows this, but Freddie Mercury was actually born into a South Asian household, and he kind of had to go against the grain. I'm also born into a South Asian household, and he had to go against the grain to kind of be who he wanted to be. And he was very theatrical, and he was a very big personality, and he liked the glitz and the glamour. And that's something that's not typically appreciated in a lot of South Asian households. Absolutely. So to watch him just go against the grain and do that was just so amazing. And then on top of that, he's a killer vocalist. I'm also a vocalist, so that's something that I look up to. And I think having a cup of coffee with Freddie Mercury would teach me a lot of things.
I would need a duo of Bohemian Rhapsody for sure.
Oh, it's happening, Matt. Just wait. We got AI, man. The world is crazy now.
That's going to be something I'm looking forward to hearing.
Queen featuring Samrah coming soon. But what about you? Who would you have coffee with?
I have two answers.
Ooh.
And I'm going to start it off with the pop culture-ish answer, and that would be none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Ooh.
Because that would be the most electrifying cup of coffee you could ever have with somebody. But not only because he's a huge personality and he's The Rock. He has quite the story, and he's pretty open about it. He's started off with his dad being a wrestler and this and that, and then he tried to make a name for himself through football, and it didn't work out. And
he played football?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, and he ended up with getting cut from a CFL team, and with I think 37 cents left in his pocket or something like that.
Wow.
And now he's turned into the box office guy that he is. And I think just hearing that story firsthand would be phenomenal.
I agree.
I'm going to take more of a personal route as well. And I think I would like to have a cup of coffee with my Nana, who has passed away. She passed away a couple of years ago. And I just have a lot to fill her in with. And I think I'd order the biggest cup of coffee that they have to offer. I might just ask for the whole whatever they have.
The whole machine.
The whole machine.
Keep them coming.
Because so much has happened since she's been gone, you know. And I've gotten married. I've had a baby. Whose middle name is actually named after her. It's a huge honor, and she was just such a big part of our lives. And most importantly, I'd like to let her know that my mom, who is now my daughter's Nana, she's taken on that title, and she's making her proud. And I think she'd like to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. Yeah. That's really sweet. That would be a lovely person to have coffee with.
Just keep it coming, because I don't want that one to end.
No, never ever. But if you guys have anybody who you would like to have coffee with, please do, for real, let us know, because we would love to hear it.
And you might hear in a couple episodes from now. That one might not come around too often, but I'm excited to hear what some of our guests have.
Me too. There's so many people to have coffee with.
Yeah.
So many things to talk about.
Yeah.
So moving on to our third question. The normal question would usually be, how do you balance life and work? But I wanted, given that this is a podcast catered to youth, I want to ask you guys, what advice would you give youth on how to balance life, because a lot of the times you find yourself lost. So what
Yeah.
advice would you give based on that?
I'd probably just say you really have to be selfish when it comes to bettering yourself. And you are going to disappoint some people along the way, whether that's your friends texting you at 9 p.m. being like, hey, come hang out. Like, but you have to sleep early because you have to be up early the next morning. That's a sacrifice you're going to have to make. So sacrifices will have to be made. People will have to be disappointed, but that's something that you owe to yourself and you need to do for yourself in order to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you have to set boundaries for yourself. I think that if you try to overdo more than what you're capable of in that moment in time, it's going to become a stressful situation for you. And then once you get super stressed out, then nothing gets done.
It's true.
So I think if you can plan accordingly and only take on what you can at that moment in time, then I think you'll be more successful and more productive than trying to take on too many things altogether.
That's a really good point. And be kind to yourself, right? Don't bite off more than you can chew. Even little steps are so impactful.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Life is a long journey. So
Many ups and downs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of youth, I'm pretty sure you guys both were youth at some point as well.
We were.
So this is more catered towards little Matt and little Samrah. So if you were to go back in time and talk to your younger self, what kind of advice or what would you tell yourself back then?
I would tell myself to just be myself. I think I spent a lot of time in my life kind of conforming and not really being who I wanted to be unapologetically. And that left me unhappy and unsatisfied because I didn't resonate with the kind of things that I was putting out there. I didn't. I did it because I thought that's what I had to do. But the minute I started just not caring and really being myself, I made crazy connections and I made crazy progress with myself, and I learned that I am lovable and people do like me for me, which is cool. So just be yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying because they're not you.
That was the first thing that kind of drew me to you, is that just the fact that you give off this very genuine vibe. And I think that's why this new friendship of ours has kind of just been, it's just right from the start, because you're unapologetically yourself and you don't
Thanks, Matt.
like, you don't conform to like the spaces that people like want you to be. You're just you. And that's why I think you've been so successful, especially in this field.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
What advice I would give little Matt growing up? There is a lot, but I think personally I would really try to stress the importance of education. And growing up, especially in high school, I tried to do the student athlete thing, but then it ended up just being athlete, and my education really like faltered for that. But I think if I really put my mind to it, I probably could have been a better student. And I honestly wish I could just tell my younger self, go into social work. Like, don't beat around the bush. You were put on this earth to help people.
Oh.
And that my parents have been telling me that for the longest time. And we just didn't know what outlet that was going to be put towards, whether that was going to be a nurse or a PSW or something along those lines. But I think this exactly is what I'm supposed to do. And I've never felt more like right place, right time than being a part of this organization. So it all worked out, but I wish I could have done it a couple years earlier. That's for sure.
That's okay though. Things take time. And I think that is something that you naturally do bring is a comfort. Like you're very open, you're not judgmental. And I think that goes miles and miles in this field. So
Thank you.
I actually do have, I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No,
but I
go
do
for
have
it.
One question for
Sure.
you that actually what you just said got me curious about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, given that you, Samrah, said you wanted to work in mental health for the longest time, and Matt, you ended up finding a huge passion for working with youth and in the social service field. If you could tell us a little bit about your experience working in those fields now that you both are actually working in these fields. So just kind of tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I think getting into it, I didn't know what exactly I was getting into, because one thing about the field, the mental health field, is you never know who's walking through your door. You could be dealing with a high crisis situation, or you could be, making a new little professional friendship with the client. So you never know what's coming through. So I think one thing I learned was being versatile
Very
and
adaptive.
very adaptive. That's the perfect word to use. You kind of got to just think on your feet. But it's not just thinking, it's also you just got to care. Like having a caring personality and a nurturing personality is so important, because that your client will naturally feel, right? Like you want to show that you care, but you also genuinely do want to care. And I think just being honest and, being somebody reliable is really important in this field, and allowing a client to trust you is really important.
Yeah.
So
Just building on that, every day is different,
Mm-hmm.
which to some people is stressful, and from a professional standpoint, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you're coming into every day. And some people prefer the same thing, same time, 9 to 5. But I think that's one of the things that has drawn me to this profession, is that you, like you said, you can have a crisis situation. You could be bringing somebody to an appointment. You could be just being there when they need you most. And that's just something that I think is a fantastic part about this job, is the unknown. And I've really taken that part of it and just ran with it and enjoyed it.
it is, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's fulfilling to be able to help, and it's nice to watch your efforts help somebody else, right? So now that you guys know Matt and I on a more personal level, coming up next in future episodes, we are going to get more into the professional side of things. We will be talking to multiple different community partners. We're going to be talking to the youth themselves. So if you guys have anybody that you want to see me and Matt talk to, and that you're curious about, maybe you want to get into the field and you don't know how, because it seems like a big void right now because you're still in school or you're still figuring things out, let us know. Be open and honest with us. We'll have the person you need to talk to right here. And if you want to talk to them, though, you can also be here. But yeah, we're going to get into learning more about the field, and that's something Matt and I are looking forward to.
Yeah, we'll definitely have some options for you. Internal guests, external guests, even some youth experiences, just things that you can relate to.
Okay, now that we are done with the open-ended questions, I must say, I want to jump into another portion of our episode today, and that's rapid-fire questions.
All right, bring them on.
Okay, I only have 5 questions for you today, so
That's
you
fine.
gotta be fast with that.
This is where you're gonna see the differences between Samrah and I think.
Yeah. Dog people.
Are we though? We'll see.
Let's see.
Okay, actually, this one is more of a reply with one word.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
describe yourself in one word.
Creative.
I'm gonna go caring.
Okay. Cat or dog?
Dog.
Cat.
Sweet or salty?
So
Sweet.
Sweet. Yeah.
Coffee and tea or tea?
Coffee.
100% coffee.
Yeah.
Newbies or newbies?
Newbies. Always newbies.
I thought you were gonna leave me hanging. It's okay.
I saw it last minute. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
That would have been a clip we would have had to take out. I think.
Embarrassing. Okay. Now we got to leave it in.
Well, what do you think?
I think we've done good.
All right. I think it's time to take this thing home.
I think so. Speaking of taking it home, find it in your home on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Under New Beginnings Windsor, we will be posting a whole bunch of more content coming up within the next couple of weeks. We hope that you guys check it out.
Yeah, I don't know if we're exactly allowed to say when the next episode is, but I think it's the end of the month, January 31st, perhaps. Maybe you should put a reminder in your phone for that. But I think we should let them in on a little hint on who our next guest might be.
A little sneak peek.
A very powerful woman in this organization. But I'm going to leave it at that. You guys can think about who that might be, and you'll find out in a couple weeks. Just make sure
Yes, you will.
like, subscribe, and we'll see you very soon.
And tell your friends and your family about the podcast so they can come join.
Don't Act New with the Newbes podcast. Tell
Period.
your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell whoever you have to be. We'll be here.
Yep,
We're
meow
excited.
too. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Take it easy.
Bye.